Get your fingers warmed up, get your wrists warmed up and your forearms. Here's the riff. Oh, such a great riff by Black Sabbath back in the day. Iron Man, for all the kids that watch the movie. And it's just a timeless rock organ riff that everybody knows, everybody wants to play, but not everyone knows how to play it. It's actually pretty simple. I'm going to teach you the basics of it today so that you can actually play some of the original notes that are in the riff, even if you're just a complete beginner, day one. And if you're intermediate, you're going to learn some of the more fuller sounding parts in this same lesson, so stick around for sure. Welcome to the final installment of the Facebook Live homebound free online lessons. We've been with you during the lockdown, been here for Sarasota, so many different instructors from Music Compound, and as things open up and get a little more friendly towards small business, we are gearing up for our summer camps at Music Compound. And I wanted to let you know, just by tuning in to this stream right now, if you would like to sign up for one of those or a couple of those music camps, guitar, piano, drums, songwriting, there's so many different options. Online, you can enter in a code, or you can just call the front office, tell them the code, it's COVID-19, and that's going to give you 10% off of the regular camp tuition. And so some savings and some great value for the camps. One of the main things, just to start out with, is we're going to be talking about proper care of the instruments so that when they're shared, they're properly sanitized. So every student will actually know how to do that as well. So all the proper protocol in place for those sessions. And that's been the entire time since this whole lockdown. So without further ado, we're going to go over this riff here. And I wanted to let you know what the notes are that we're starting out with. And so, as I was saying, day one beginners, we're going to look at one note for right now, and it is the B note. So where that black diamond is, so you can see how there's the triplet black keys. If you've tuned in before, you know we call them the triplet black keys and the twin black keys. So we're looking at the triplets. The top one, it's the white key just directly beside the top third triplet. B is where I want you to find. That's the first note of Iron Man. All right, go ahead and play. And if you want to match the sound that's on this keyboard, what I want you to do is find a rock organ sound on your keyboard. And so you might be asking, wait, I don't know how to do that. Well, it depends what kind of keyboard you have. But for starters, just look for a button that says organ. Press it. Let's see if it sounds similar to this. There's the B. The other way is to go into voice or sound bank. Look for organs. You could scroll around. Look for something that says rock organ. It's going to have this. That kind of sound. It depends what model keyboard you have again. Alright, so we're going to play B. Let's play every B on the keyboard. So you may have 88 keys on your keyboard. You might have 61. You might have 32. But what you want to do is keep playing B. Every octave. So let's do that one more time. As a reminder, if you're just tuning in, it's the third black key triplet. So we find that triplet number 3, go directly above it to the white key, which is B. Hang on, intermediates. I've got you in just a minute. Okay, so here we go. We're going to skip from B to D. Now D is in the middle of the black key twins. So if you need to screenshot that, there's D, there's the black key twins. We're looking for D, and then I'll go ahead and tell you we're going to E. So we got 3 notes, 3 central notes here for Iron Man. B, D, E. So from B we skip. Now I'm going ahead and I'm playing both hands just because it makes it sound fuller. But don't worry, if you're just beginning out and today, or you've been at it for a couple weeks maybe, just go with one hand. Don't worry about both hands. If you can play it with both hands, by all means. B to D. So let's do that every single octave, but this time let's start on the high octave. And we're going to play like doubles. So what I mean by that is B, B, D, D, B, B. A lot of times I'll just say double, double, double. And then a lot of times once it's going, I don't say anything, I just play it. Let's go back up every octave. Here we go. Intermediates, I got you coming up. Alright, so hopefully you joined me some on the B, skipping up to D. So now we're going to step it up to E. So as a reminder, if you just tuned in, here is our notes. We've got B, D, and E. E is going to be right beside the black key twins. B, D, E. Here we go. And the pattern, you may want to screenshot this as well. B, D, D, E, E. As simple as that. So this is central right here. Right now, we're just talking about note names. There's the keys for you. I've unlocked the code of how to break down Iron Man for you. So I would highly encourage you to screenshot this. This is the code. B, D, D, E, E. That's the first part. If you walk up to any piano, any organ, and you play this note combination, somebody's going to know, oh my gosh, you just started to play the beginning of Iron Man. 3 notes. B, D, D, E, E. Let's practice that little riff. So we're going to do the every octave approach. That's an excellent way to practice. You may ask, Mr. Matt, why do you always have me play every octave? Well, I'm going to tell you one of the personal reasons that I do that is because I play a lot of different instruments, guitar, bass, ukulele, and one thing that I've noticed through the years is a lot of guitarists, they really are fascinated by the keyboard, and I've asked some incredible guitarists before, why is that? You know, there's always this, I want to play that instrument, and the other guy wants to play the other instrument. And a lot of guitarists have told me it's because you have the full range of notes with piano. You've got notes that go lower than a bass guitar, and you've got notes that go as high as a violin or a piccolo flute. And so you've got the full range of notes. Just like if we were a professional athlete or an athlete in training for the Olympics, we're going to exercise every muscle that we can. So let's use all the octaves that are available. It's fun, it's fresh on the ears to hear. Here we go. B, D, D, E, E. Play it with me. All right, so the next little part is going to be that should sound familiar to you. Right now we're going to focus on this part. So those notes, we're going to look for a G note, and then you can see right here it says F sharp, the first black key triplet. So we've got G and F sharp. You can see down here how I wrote G, F sharp 3 times, okay? Now, let's go ahead and just screen capture that so you can look at it later and refer to it. Share it, tweet it. G, F sharp. 2 different fingers. If you can, I want you to try your right hand pinky and your right hand ring finger. In piano method, we call this finger number 5 and finger number 4. But for right now, we'll just call it pinky, ring. G, F sharp. Want to hear a couple of those? Join me. Now, if you play it really low, it sounds like the theme from Jaws, if you know that. Here, I'll change it to a piano, and it may sound a little more familiar like that. Alright, so those are the same notes from Jaws that are in Iron Man. Go figure. So Iron Man, we've got G and F sharp. So getting to my rock organ. Here we go, G, F sharp. Let's try both hands. Okay, once you've done that a few times, we're going to land on D. Now D is the note that's in between the 2 twins. So we've got D, and then we've got E. So we're going to do the back and forth, land on D, go up to E. Okay, so all we just added, if that sounds confusing to you, all we just added was a D note and an E note. So what I want to have you do is play the G and the F sharp a few times. It's okay if you use two different hands for it. It's fine. Now we're going to land on D. That's the middle of the twins. The white key in the middle of the twins. So we're going to go. Starting to hear it? D, E, E. Remember, E is just a step up from D. So these four notes. Oh, I can just hear Iron Man right now just creaking. He's just breaking down because we're breaking down this famous organ riff. If you're joining me right now, I would love to see it in the comments if you're playing. Any questions? Thanks for tuning in, Dad and Kaylee. What is up? All right, so another thing about breaking down Iron Man is going to be, you know, piano, you use fingers, obviously. So your fingers, you want them to be strong. You want them to be able to take playing a lot. So there's a couple things I've found through the years that really help piano players. This 3-pound medicine ball. If you want to play Iron Man, you've got to prepare like Iron Man. All right, exercise your wrists, dig in your fingers to the medicine ball. There's another amazing device for getting ready to play Iron Man. It's the Grip Master. This is something that I tell all my students to start using. Just a little bit a day, and you would be amazed. Everybody wants to play fast riffs. I'm telling you, that's how you get there, is you got to strengthen and strengthen your fingers. Here's the riff. Woo! Here's part two. Such a cool riff. One more. Just left. That's a great one for intermediates to work on. What those are is, a lot of my intermediates know, we've talked about power chords and about how power chords are basically what gives guitarists that edgy kind of rock sounding chord. If that organ chord sounds almost a little rock guitar like, that's because they're power chords. So I'm going to drop this one on you. Go ahead and screen capture this diagram I made for you. You're not going to see this anywhere else on the web. This was handmade for you with breaking down Iron Man in mind. So the specific power chords that we've got a B paired with an F sharp. So I went ahead and just showed beginners where B and F sharp is. So you got that. Okay, intermediates. Then we've got a D on the bottom paired with an A. Then we've got, obviously, an E paired with a B. Those are the 3 power chords. All right. So they're going to sound something like this. Here's power chord 1. 2 is D, D and A. Then we've got E and B. Let's do that again. B, F sharp, D and A, E and B. So that's the start of that riff. Try it with both hands. So you want to practice that to get your full power chord really rocking both hands. Then what you do is you just shift over to your melody notes. The G, F sharp, G. Land, D, E, E. So we've got the power chord riff. Remember that melody. That's the whole riff. Now I'm going to demonstrate it for you slow, and then I'm going to get faster and faster with it. See how we're doing on time. We got a few minutes left. This whole time with you on these homebound streams has just been phenomenal. We've been getting great feedback from so many different MC members about these sessions. Thankful for all the teachers that put the time into it, and wanted to let you know that the camp, we've got 25 plus instructors that are ready to teach things like songwriting, guitar, piano, ukulele, drums. We've got a wide variety that young students, that they might be bored, they might be ready to get out of the house. You might be ready to have them out of the house, and you want to make sure that they're in a safe, clean environment. Music Compound has got you covered. All the proper protocol this whole time has been in place, even during the virtual lessons. So all the instruments going to be completely sanitized. We've got the mask protocol going on, so they can still learn in an in-person environment while being a sanitary and healthy place to do so. All right, so if you want to call the front office, it's 941-379-9100. Also remember, online or in calling the office, just refer to the discount COVID-19. That gets you 10% off. Have fun breaking down Iron Man today. Let us know if you have any questions about this or any other song that you'd like to learn, any of our instructors can help with that process, get you on an amazing track of forward motion in your musical growth. Gonna look here for questions. I'm gonna play some more Iron Man in the background. All right, excellent question. Dad, thanks for asking that. These wheels here, one is called a pitch wheel, and that changes the note. So if I move it up, the note actually bends up. If I move it down, the note bends down. Now in organ, we typically don't use the pitch wheel because organs don't really have pitch wheels. There's a couple rare ones that do, but what an organ does have is what's called a Leslie speaker, and that's operated by a foot pedal. When you press the foot pedal, oh, there's my 2-minute. So when you press the foot pedal, what happens is it triggers the Leslie and the Leslie speaker. And so instead of the chord sounding like this, once that foot pedal is pressed, the Leslie speaker has a fan inside and it's twirling around, and it literally makes the sound like this. It's called a rotor. So the more that I push that modulation wheel, it's going to trigger that Leslie sound, and that's what gives it that classic organ sound. Here, there's no Leslie. Here it comes. So there you go. That's the explanation of the wheels. Thanks so much for joining us. We thoroughly enjoyed hanging with you on the Homebound sessions. Look us up on Music Compound, all the social media pages. Have a great and blessed day. Thanks for joining us.